I just want you to see the impossible light activity that's appearing above my head while I'm sitting in my bedroom. The blinds remain closed. It is currently, by the way, 3:48 p.m. This is ongoing documentation of what is the terrorism via directed light. This is also light that's supposed to be occurring through the blinds, all right? And it's all over the bed, all right? This is the pattern of the blinds, these things, right? Magnified in size. You can see the dynamic light. It's the trees blowing in the wind. And I also want you to show you, this is the evidence that not only am I subject to the state system, this is evidence that demons are engaging in what is surrounding me. This is the group stalking system. It is currently right now, this is the light source that's remaining over my apartment. It's 3:49 p.m. When you saw LAPD doing laps over my apartment, the light source was directly in the same place. All it did was move over. The entity is feigning some sort of sunset that's going to occur again 10, 11 hours after the sunrise on the opposite side of my apartment. This is the engineered light, and this is the light source. The entity is maintaining a light source today over the Fontana Lewis Library in 2022, where I remain. The entity is engaging in what is stalking with engineered light. That's what you saw appearing on my ceiling. Under no circumstances, this is literally impossible. You're looking at the light source that's above my head. You're looking at what's supposed to be the result of that sunlight below, but then you're also looking at that light that's appearing above. This is entirely demonic. That's what you know is wrong with the Los Angeles Police Department. And this is exposing to the world what one of the most world-renowned law enforcement agencies are actually engaging in this country. This is revealing to you what their condition is and the criminal system that they are practicing. And I put it in terms like that on purpose. They're practicing demonic activity. They're practicing a demonic system, and it is entirely secret, okay? It's supposed to be something that is surreptitiously underway, something that is unknown, something that is malicious, and anybody claiming to be, for example, stalked by the police are immediately to be written off as crazy. Paranoid schizophrenic. That's the malicious pattern of conduct. And I want to be clear, the prosecution, the federal prosecution for federal group stalking and monitoring shall, based on the highly disturbing pattern of conduct and the demonic environment, which is illustrative of the highly mentally deranged actors that are practicing the system, is going to require by default mental examinations. And that includes these police departments that are stalking. And that's what you're looking at here. The entity is group stalking. If you're able to see that, flying right next to the sun, okay? There's no sun over the Fontana Lewis Library. There is no sun that the demon-possessed law enforcement agencies are flying over either. If that was the sun, they would not be able to fly over it, fly under it, fly next to it like you've seen them doing. They would be set ablaze, all right? But that's not what you're seeing. And that's because you're looking at what is the demonic imitation of the natural environment. And they are foolishly providing what is an ongoing, literally, step-by-step tutorial to the world as to how the government is engaging in state surveillance. That's what the Los Angeles Police Department is doing. This is what the Ontario Police Department has already provided. This is what the Fontana Police Department, the Montclair Police Department, the Chino Police Department, all right, engaging in what is just driving by while I'm showing you the sunset when I'm on in Chino, California at 7 o'clock in the evening. But remember today, at the same time, 7:03, I'm showing you what's the light source that's supposedly setting while I'm still inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, where the light source is there over my head at 9 o'clock in the morning. That is never going to be the sun, all right? That's the identical pattern of conduct. The demon possessed, I am the center of the universe. The target individual is the center of the universe. And you're looking at demons confessing to that condition while they fly next to the so-called sun in relevant position, which is juxtaposed to the specific environment at the Fontana Lewis Library today in 2022, where there would never be the sun rising and sunset at one address. They're engaging and showing to the world what the demon possessed are, what they act like, what they do, what they practice as a government, and who they're doing it with. And that's the people of the state. Engaging in what is the behavior of the demon possessed, like Tiffany Sherez showed you. Not only do they engage in what is slinging light around, but while they're monitoring and terrorizing you and being sex offenders, like Iris Carnero exhibited to you as well. They do so while they're keeping you under surveillance inside of the private space where they're living all around you. It's not just Alvarado Gardens, all of Silverview townhomes. Remember, the entity is maintaining a light source over me while I'm standing at that property. While I was documenting Ryder, those demons wanted to come engage in the P.O.C., show the fact that they're psychopaths, show the fact that Ryder is engaged in hiring demons to criminally monitor systematically American citizens in this country while trying to make a dollar at that. I went over to that property on purpose to document not only Ryder, but the people of the state. And while I stood there on that day, remember, the light source was right over my head on that side of the property while I was facing that building. And that was at approximately 10 something in the morning. Remember, so while the light source was over there at that property, that was at 10, so about, let's just say 10:30, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. That will be 5 hours from now. And the light source is to the side of that building over my bedroom. All right, that's just another angle of analysis. Under no circumstances is this the Sun and the Los Angeles Police Department are exhibiting their demon possession and the fact that they're engaged in criminal monitoring. That is federal stalking. They're also showing what the demon possessed are to the public, presenting what is a public safety concern. Their ongoing obsessive endeavor, their ongoing confession of their demon possession and confession of their obsessive stalking is posing and revealing what is a public safety concern that you are not even aware of. Okay, so I want to be clear. Exposing this system is exposing the threat that you're actually facing, because this population is in the United States, keeping American citizens under surveillance, unbeknownst to you. And the threat that they pose when that is exposed has been exhibited by the aforementioned police departments, has been exhibited by the people of the state who intend to kidnap you, silence you, defame you, and also engage in what is literally taking your life, if that's possible as well. And then they remain to create the narrative on the news or on Dateline. Okay, the Los Angeles Police Department engaging in one of the world's most known police departments, they have been used as models, fictional TV shows, and speaking to crimes that they so-called have solved while they are on the television and been used as a beacon of an example of what, no. All right, now I just want to be clear. This is the criminal system that they're not talking about. This is what they're not exposing, and this is not new. This is not since 2024. This is what the state's been engaged in for a long time, and the Los Angeles Police Department is at the center of it. They're at the center of it. So I want to be clear. It is currently 3:55 p.m. when you're looking at this light activity on my ceiling, and then you're looking at what's supposed to be the sunlight that's on the ground. So on what iteration of natural light or the sun, whatever result in that. All right, so this is speaking to the hovering, stalking conduct of demons that know exactly where I'm sitting. Okay, well, I'm sitting on the floor right here, looking up, and you're looking at the pattern of the blinds while the blinds were closed. All right, creating this shadow. There is no natural trajectory of light where this would ever happen. What is this supposed to be over here? All right, you already know that it's not sunlight. Sunlight is not doing gymnastics underneath structures and hitting the window, creating the shape of the window on the outside of the building and also aiming on the inside. It's also not sunlight because the light source is over the Fontana Lewis Library. All right, I'm showing you what is a system, what is the external evidence of the physical condition that is invisible on people. The Los Angeles Police Department is teaching the world about demonic activity and demon possession. That's what they're teaching you. Okay, so are the people of the state, demons such as Tiffany Sherez. And the demon possessed, that are those engaged in state surveillance in the United States, they're going to be removed from the minor children against whom they pose a risk to their lives and their safety, their mental well-being. They also pose a risk to the American citizens in this country whom they're placing under surveillance with highly disturbed police are engaging in criminal conduct using things such as helicopters to place you under surveillance. All right. And doing so in plain view when they know that they're being captured on video. That is speaking to literally a delusional level of superiority because this documentation, it isn't for naught. It is spelling out a very, very high profile federal prosecution, which the world is literally going to study. Okay. In addition to understanding demonic activity and demon possession and the reality of Satan, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, it's undeniable at this point. This light activity is the evidence of it. Okay. It is currently 3:57 p.m. and the stalking behavior by these police agencies is the evidence of it as well. That's why they're stalking. It is currently, again, 3:57 p.m. and this is P.O.C.